Hello again, everyone. I'm Arthur E. Benjamin, founder of American Dog Rescue, and you're watching For the Love of Dogs.
And I'm Farrah White. Thanks for being with us today. We have another great show on tap, including information about how you can be green with your dog this upcoming Earth Day.
But we begin on today's show with one of the biggest dogs on the planet, and Bandit visiting with them on the floor. The Great Pyrenees can grow to be 120 pounds, putting them in the large breed category.
I would say that's the large breed for
Large.
sure. We've got Ken, Becky, and Susie here with us who know a little something about the Great Pyrenees. They're from the Texas Great Pyrenees Rescue. So let's welcome them to the show.
Bandit is welcoming them to
Bandit
the show.
already has, but now we should.
Welcome
Hi,
to the
guys.
show.
Hi there.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you so much for coming, and tell us who you have
Thanks
with
for bringing the herd.
you. Yes.
Who do we have?
Well, we have Tanner Sky, and we have Maya, and we have
Dallas.
Dallas.
And who's available for adoption?
Dallas is available for adoption.
Look at that face. Look
came
at that
from
face. Dallas,
Oklahoma.
show off your face.
Show your face, Dallas.
And can you tell us a little bit about their stories?
He's a sweet boy that was the owner surrender. He came from Oklahoma. So we got him into the program and looking for that perfect home for him.
And Shy Maya there on the floor, she was taken in because she needed some surgery for her legs, some very expensive surgery. And so sometimes we get the opportunity to take in dogs like that, and we do an awful lot of online fundraising. And that allows us to do the special needs dogs.
So tell us a little bit more about your organization.
Sure. We adopt out over 100 dogs, and so we rescue over 100 to 150 dogs a year. A lot of the times we are getting them just in time from shelters before they're put down. Big dogs take up a lot of space in shelters. They don't last very long there. We also take them as owner surrenders, bad economy, people move into apartments and they can't take them with them. We take them in, we vet them, we get them medically cared for, and then we list them for adoption and find them good homes.
How many dogs do you think you have right now?
Probably about 40 dogs, 30 to 40 dogs at any given time all over Texas.
Wow. Okay. So they're literally just with a different fosters.
Yes,
From your
we don't have it.
organization?
We don't have a
Aw.
shelter. All
Arthur's
foster
on
homes.
the floor with you.
Come here.
Okay,
And who is this big guy?
This is Tanner Scott.
That's Tanner Scott.
Yes, he is a foster to adopt, meaning that Al and I were actually going to adopt him.
Oh, good.
Right now, he is still part of the program because he is a severe epileptic.
Okay.
He is on 19 pills a day,
Goodness.
and but that's what we do for our dogs.
I just wanted to calm him down a little bit because
Yeah.
he was getting a little nervous.
So do you get your dogs from all over the state?
Literally all over
Primarily?
the state.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, you know, as you go up north, it gets thinner and thinner as far as rescue availability.
sure.
So Texas, because we're one of the bigger rescues, there are 2 large rescue organizations, thank goodness, because we get between 65 and 85 phone calls and emails a week
Oh my goodness.
for peers asking to come into the
Wow.
program. About 25% are for more than one peer at a time.
How many dogs do you have available now?
Right around 40 dogs.
Yeah,
right around
40.
40.
How
yeah.
many fosters do you think you have?
That fluctuates.
Yeah.
That can go from,
20 to 25.
yeah,
when you
depending
look at-
on, situations.
Are these guys for everyone, or you really have to have a special home for Great White?
Well, they have to be somebody who can handle shedding hair on the floor. They drool a bit, and they take up some space. So we do want adopters who are ready for that. At adoption days, if I have some hair on my jeans, I want people to see that because
Yeah.
that needs to be
Yeah.
part of it. They're barkers. They're bred to guard livestock. Of course, most of the ones we have don't, but that means they're going to bark in your backyard if they see or hear something. So that has to be okay.
It's funny. Look at Bandit with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're very sweet, mild-mannered dogs. You had mentioned something earlier about raising money online. Mm-hmm. What types of things do you raise money for, and how do you go about it?
Sure. Right now we use a website called YouCaring, and it's a website that allows us to place our dogs there that have medical needs. And so when we get a dog like Maya with luxating patella, which is something humans can get, that's where the kneecap slips off and gets loose with ligaments, or a dog like Tanner Sky, who has epileptics, has seizures. So our neediest cases, parvo dogs, when they wind up at hospitals and being in emergency hospitals for several nights to take care of them. Those are the ones that we do the online fundraising for.
Okay. Do you do any other additional fundraisers for your organization throughout the year?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are at PetSmart in Denton every third Saturday of the month.
Okay, that's great.
And we have a donation box set up there. That's also a place that they approved adopters can come and adopt a dog. They can see several all at the same time. Or many times as it is, first time you see a Pyrenees and, oh my gosh, I gotta have one. And that's usually how it goes. That's how it was for me 20 years ago.
Really?
So yeah, and then Pet Supplies Plus is the first Saturday in Louisville.
Oh, great.
So we have 2 locations up as far as the DFW Metroplex, and then there is other locations.
Ken has additional.
Yeah, Bandit's got that one, and you've got that one.
Here's some of your dogs. Let's show first Ivory, and then there's Shiatsi, and then there's
Shotzi was in
Tashi.
San Antonio.
And then there's Tashi, and then there's Zuria.
Zuria.
Zuria was one of ours here in DFW. She was actually walked up to out east and of the Metroplex.
Okay.
And they called us. It was on a Sunday evening, I remember.
Calm down.
And they said, you know, there's this beautiful dog, but she's really kind of skinny. But can you take her in? I said, goodness, right now I cannot. I don't have a foster home. Can you foster? Yes. And I said, you need to at least get her some medical attention.
Yeah.
And within 3 days, she had 12 puppies.
Oh, my goodness.
So she was skin and bones, literally, like she had been in the Holocaust. And all the babies made it, and they were adopted out. And Zuria is one of the before and after pictures that we have.
That's great.
Yes, those are a lot of stuff we see is tough, but
know,
a lot of
yeah.
the after pictures, oh my gosh, it's just, yeah.
You know, it's
what
a
they can
lot of
become.
tough and a lot of tough moments, and it's a lot of work. And thank you guys so much for doing what you do, because, you know, you do it because you have to. Something inside you says you have to, and I'm sure you're constantly looking for fosters. So if there
Al,
is, if you
he's
do have
coming.
any
I don't want
interest, you can, you
He's
can just
ready.
go
He's
wander.
done.
If you want to learn more about the Great Pyrenees or the Texas Great Pyrenees Rescue, visit them online at txpyrs.org.
Still to come, our friend Michael Kane is here with a preview of Earth Day, Texas, and how you can become more eco-friendly with dogs like me. We'll be right back.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no-puppy-mills and take the puppy pledge.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson.
I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I am a pet lover first.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back. You're watching For the Love of Dogs. Now, we want to talk about one of our favorite events here in Dallas. Earth Day Texas is coming up. It's on April 26th and 27th, and it's a great time of year to reevaluate how you're helping out the environment.
Our friend Michael Kane is the new executive director of Earth Day Texas. He joins us with some helpful tips on becoming more eco-friendly in our daily lives and what to do with your dogs at Earth Day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eco-Eco.
Welcome, Michael.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for
It's always
coming.
good to have you. We always hear the term eco-friendly, but what does that mean? You're listening to little echoes, or?
Well, it's a lot about making just small choices in your life that are good for the environment. Little things like water conservation. The theme of actually this year's Earth Day Texas is water. There's probably no more pressing issue going on right now. There's also sustainability and recycling and reuse. And so this forum, which will be over 800 exhibit spaces of corporations, nonprofits, educational institutions, schools, they're all going to be there learning about ways to protect the environment and make their lives better.
Well, it's great to have it in Dallas, and this is the largest Earth Day in the world?
Largest Earth Day in the world, largest Eco Expo in the world also. It's everything from 20 panels of speakers, including mayors, CEOs, heads of corporations coming in, also people who are experts on water, and then things like the Texas Music Project creating the Earth Day Texas Rising Stars competition, which are all youth playing in bands, and Polyphonic Spree. It's something for everybody.
That's going to be great. And it started out as Earth Day Dallas, and then now, of course, is Earth Day Texas. How are we as a state? How are we doing? Are we making strides? Are we seeing a difference already? Are we reaching people?
Yeah, it's really interesting actually, because before I took on this role, you know, I'd been involved with the Dallas International Film Festival. I wasn't really aware of all the great organizations who've been doing this for 30 plus years, who've really been setting up ways that the state is taking care of our water needs. But you know, we're behind the 8 ball. We have 1,000 new people moving into Texas every day. And at the same time, we're not aware of the fact that, you know, how much water that they use.
So you got involved with this originally. I remember the discussions between you and Larry Hagman talking about his eco-friendly home and solar panels, and then you and Trammell got very connected on the whole Earth Day topic. So how did you make that transition?
Well, the credit really goes to Trammell Crow. He founded this in 2010, and about that time, 2011, I was invited to be on the board. Larry Hagman was one of the first people that we brought in, and with his solar-powered Airstream, which was fantastic. But you know, I'd grown aware of things like this because of the film festival, because of all of the movies that we would play that would, you know, the funny thing is most of these would show that corporations were the bad guys and the big business were the bad guys. And this event takes on a very different approach, which believes you have to bring everyone to the table, and the fact that sustainable, long-term environmental change can really only take place if businesses are involved. So it's a really interesting space to be in. And so people like Larry Hagman coming in, Ed Begley Jr., CNN Hero of the Year this year, Chad Pogracki, David Wojciechowski bringing in animals and showing off anacondas and cougars and things. It's kind of really evolved. And like I said, Trammell gets all the credit for coming up with this idea.
Now, what are some of the things that people can do, maybe just small steps to get more eco-friendly?
Recycle. I mean, just right off the bat, such an easy thing. Reuse. Look at ways that you don't always throw something away, but how do you figure out, you know, how to use it again? Turn your water off when you're brushing your teeth. Sounds like a really small thing. Limit your showers to 5 minutes or under. Don't feel like you've got, if you're a man, you've got to shave while you're in there. You know, really start to think about those choices that you make. Things like bags, bringing your own bag when you go into the stores, or if you're taking their bags, to take the bags back. You know, reuse these things.
You know, I was just at a meeting that pointed out something I thought was very interesting in the eco-friendly area. We consume, this is going to be frightening to the audience, we consume 9 billion factory farmed animals a year. And of those 9 billion animals that we factory farm for our consumption, we throw away 2.5 billion of them as leftovers.
That's awful.
Yeah, I've been sort of amazed to find out the amount of waste that goes on in our society. And, you asked a good question earlier about Texas and where we were standing. It's interesting, Texas leads in wind power or any other state. In solar energy, we're one of the leaders. In hydrogen, actually, one of the events that we're putting together is a hydrogen initiative that's going to create, ideally, the first hydrogen highway between Austin and Dallas.
Wow.
And those are the sort of things, Texas big ideas. So when you have 60,000 people attending this event, there's a lot of change that takes place after the event. That's almost the most fun part about it. It's this forum of getting all these people together, and then they leave, and their lives are changed just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then it all begins. So what are some of the goals that you have for this year's event?
Well, 60,000 people. That would be a good goal for Fair Park. We'd like for the event to continue to be statewide. I mean, we have every university or college from San Marcos up to Oklahoma has some presence at the event this year. We'll have 100 independent school districts or middle schools or high schools involved with the event this year. It really is just to continue changing the way people think and live and work. And if we can do that, the collaborations that are going to come out of this event are going to ripple throughout the year.
Well, and affect us all in an entirely wonderful way, and not just all in Texas, but our Earth.
Yeah, I mean, the largest state has a really, in America, has a real chance of making a change. And if we lead by example, imagine where this can all go. I mean, they passed Proposition 6 in November, which was a $2 billion new use of water. So it allowed other water projects to be freed up. So Texans are very aware of what's going on right now. It's just continuing to make it so that Earth Day is every day.
So again, Earth Day Texas is coming up on April 26th and 27th. It runs from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. at Fair Park, right center of Dallas. Admission is free. Go to earthdaytx.org for more information.
And we hear that you can actually bring your dogs to the events that are outside. So anything outside, be sure to bring your pups and bring your little poop bags too.
That's exactly it.
Up next, how you can vote for Bandit for Hero Dog of the Year. Plus, our rescue story of the week. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother. And this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family, but for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Welcome back. There's still time to vote for Bandit as this year's American Hero Dog. You see Bandit here each week as our co-host, but Bandit is really a service dog. Arthur, tell us a little bit more about Bandit.
Well, Bandit was a rescue who, here in Plano at Suzu Rescue, who couldn't walk. He couldn't use his rear ends at all. His name was Scooter at the time. We rehabbed him. He was down at Texas A&M, did balancing exercises and massage therapy, some water therapy, and he regained the use of his rear legs. And then he was trained as a service dog for a female soldier who was coming home with sexual trauma disorder from Iraq. And she looked at him and said, I want a real dog. So she got a Golden, and I got Bandit. And Bandit's part of the emerging hero category for American Humane Association. It's ordinary dogs that do extraordinary things. And as we all know, this little guy does extraordinary things.
He certainly does. Tell them how they can vote.
Well, you can vote by simply going to www.voteforbandit.com. Voteforbandit.com. It's part of the Hero Dog Award organization, which is part of American Humane. And you can also see Bandit's story by visiting the American Dog Rescue Facebook page. Bandit's not only a hero here today, this is part of the show where we honor those heroes who save the life of a dog. It's part of the Rescue Story of the Week series.
Today we have two great stories from the Texas Great Pyrenees Rescue. Becky is back along with Andrea Guthrie, Vicki DeFord, and Mary Kay and their son Christian, and their dog Bear. They're all here alongside to tell us their rescue story.
But before we do, this is the cover of Denton Live, and sitting here with us is the famous canine tooth fairy, Solaris. Solaris hands out little toothbrushes and toothpaste to kids all over the DFW area, and we're lucky to have Solaris with us today as well.
Yes.
So, Becky, who do we have with us today?
We have Solaris, the canine tooth fairy. Yep. We have Spirit, which is now Bear, and we have William DeFord.
William DeFord. Becky, tell us more about these dogs being livestock dogs.
Traditionally, the Great Pyrenees is from the Pyrenean Mountains over in Spain, and their first job instinctively is to guard livestock. And many are house pets that choose not to be a livestock dog, and they guard their family. They can hear coyotes up to 5 miles away. So right now, Susie Shirley is our livestock dog coordinator. That is what she does. If dogs are pulled from a shelter or from homes that it appears that they may be what's considered aggressive to someone, it very well may be that they've never been in a house and you don't know that because they can't tell you. So we send them out to Susie. She's got 20 acres. She's got goats and cows, and she watches them and sees, and if they stay in the pasture, we know that they are a livestock dog. And if they do not, then we know that they are a house pet.
So coyotes won't mess with these guys?
Absolutely not. They are one of the few breeds, if one of the only breeds, that physically communicate with the coyotes. This is a lot of what gets these dogs in trouble as house pets, because as much as man has encroached onto, Mother Nature and such in the woods, just because we cannot hear the coyotes, they can. And of course, they will do their baroofing at 2 in the morning. That's what I affectionately call it. But so that is one of the reasons that we get a call, because the neighbors don't care to hear that there are communication going on between a Great Pyrenees and a coyote at 2 in the morning.
Right.
So, but
it makes a lot of sense, though, the way that you are testing them, because
yes.
Oftentimes in rescue situations, that's one of the more important things, is you need to know if a dog can get along with other dogs.
Correct.
Or and how they are with children and how they are with cats.
Exactly.
And so in order to fill that out, but that's great. That's because that makes perfect sense.
So our rescue stories of the week.
Yes.
The important ones.
Yes.
Mary Kay, when did you learn about Bear?
And I was looking for a dog that is something for Chris and for my son. He wanted to have a dog that you can have to play with. He get very lonesome, and he didn't have anybody to play with in his neighborhood. And he comes home every day from school, and he decided he wanted to have a dog. So I have a Pomeranian at home, and he's more like a mama's baby dog to me, and so you kind of pull away from him. So looking for a dog, it took me about 2 years to find it. So this one is very mellow, and he's just perfect. Everything, the whole package.
So,
you know.
Christian, what does Bear mean to your family? Could you pass him the mic?
What is the
Oh,
bear
he's got
what?
one. Christian, what does Bear mean to your family?
Well, he's very a good dog, and he does mean a lot.
Do you love that he came to live with you? Do you love that he came to live with you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, he seems like a good dog. When I walked into the studio today, I saw you holding Bear, and Bear just had the most relaxed look and just looked so interestingly as I walked all the way in, but just completely calm. So I bet he's a great pet for your home.
Yeah, he's been really good, and he just loves to go to the park. We have the little creek at the park, and you just go in and dive in, and he just loves it. So you take him to the park every day,
Well, it's
ride on a bike with him.
It's another great story of what dogs will do for people who have needs, and also what dogs will do to make for a better family. Thank you all for what you've done to save these dogs. It's really incredible. Thank you for going out of your way to bring the entire herd with you. They're lucky to have you, and thanks to all of you for watching today.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to learn more about For the Love of Dogs or American Dog Rescue, visit our website, americandogrescue.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
So for all of us here at For the Love of Dogs, thanks for watching, and vote for Bandit.com!
Yes, Bandit wants a tiara.